안녕하십니까. 서울 디지털 포럼 2014 진행을 맡은 SBS 아나운서 김환입니다. 혁신적 지혜, 기술에서 공공선을 찾다라는 주제 하에 더 나은 미래를 위해서 지혜를 모으는 시간 여러분과 함께 하고 있습니다. 인류 역사상 가장 혁신적인 물건이 있다 한다면 여러분은 어떤 것을 선택하시겠습니까? 아마도 많은 분들이 이 스마트폰을 선택하지 않을까 싶습니다. 저 또한 스마트폰을 선택할 것 같은데요. 이번 세션에서는 스마트폰과 관련 있는 아주 재미난 이야기를 해드리도록 하겠습니다. 사람과 사람이 더 가까워질 수 있도록 콰미 페레이라의 혁신적 대화의 기술 함께 만나보도록 하겠습니다. 박수로 맞아주시죠.
아니요. Okay, let me do that again. Music. I can do it. I can't. I'm just going to say hello because I'm very excited to be here. And I have wonderful things to show you, and I forgot how to say hello in your crazy language. All right. So my name is Kwame, and I run a group of individuals, designers and engineers, that create amazing services and products for this planet. And the reason why you see this beautiful image behind us, it's because that's really the view from one of our offices. I tend to send my designers and engineers to places where they're closer to nature so that they don't forget who and what they are really creating for. In the next 20 minutes, they say about 18 because we're live on television, 7,200 babies will be born in this planet. Now you can say that they will be born, but in reality they will be created, right? And that is something that I want to stay with you throughout this presentation, that we create. And we need to be responsible for what we create. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the creative process and what it means to create. When we look at creation, you have creation on one side. On the other side, if you were to do the yin-yang, what would you have? And no, it's not destruction. It's actually validation. It sounds a bit boring. But if I was to replace validation with the word value, then it starts to be a little bit more interesting, right? Because you create and then you need to validate. You need to see if it actually matches the values that you are creating it for. And those values so far have been, is it profitable? Is it getting traction? Is the market happy? And perhaps we need to start looking at other values. And that's why we have created a methodology internally called VOID, which stands for Value-Oriented Innovation Design. Because that's what we do, we innovate, right? And we innovate in really fast cycles. So we do design, engineering, and then we validate. Then we design, engineer, validate. For those who are a little bit more human, we think, we make, and we validate. So when you have a baby and you see a baby growing, you want to make sure throughout its life that it has your values, right? And if it doesn't, then usually there are issues there. Why should that be different for a radio, for example? In this case, a porcelain radio that we've done. So creating is not innovating. In order to innovate, we have to go beyond just creating. We need to make sure that the value is there. So most creation, or actually, let me rewind that. Most innovation is incremental. So we start off with something that already exists, and then we build upon it, right? And that's fine, and we can't destroy everything and rebuild all the time. It would be reinventing the wheel, as they say. But it's very hard sometimes to validate, to see if the values are there, because you're building on a structure that's already so big. So sometimes you need to break your problems apart. And you need to make sure, and that's not breaking everything down, it's literally looking at problems and making sure that that the values with which we create are there, and then start rebuilding according to those values. So the two essential values that I would like to speak about today, and I'm going to do more than speak, I'm actually going to show you a couple of examples, are openness and transparency and connected creativity. So transparency for us will change the world. And because it's 4 o'clock, lunchtime is about two hours behind us, I put this delicious image of pancakes up there. And what I love about it is not only that it's delicious, but it comes with a recipe, right? And I know where my pancakes come from. I know where my coffee comes from. Who here knows where their phones come from? Not many, right? So we've partnered up with a company called Fairphone, and we've released the first phone that has real social and ethical values behind it. We know where each component comes from. We clean up the supply chain. We make sure it has the values that we feel will make this a product that comes from the planet, comes from the Earth, and goes back to the Earth in an elegant way. It's open. And just like the internet and digital media, it needs to be open. The title of my talk, but I tend to digress, is Creative Connectivity. And creative connectivity is that second value that I'm going to talk to you about. Here's a picture of a modern-day family. And there's nothing really strange about this picture, apart from the fact that the dog has a tablet. Everything else is pretty normal, right? And you could say it is, and you could say, no, I don't really want that kind of scenario at home. I would like to start creating services and products that liberate us from the screen. So we started doing wearables about a year ago, and we're now producing Bond. And Bond started out as a simple idea, a modular approach. You have different modules, and different modules do and sense different things. So right away you have versatility, so if it's not just used for one thing. Those little modules can be used as apps, so you can buy different modules. You can have T-money, or you can have your car keys. You can have a little fitness tracker in there. It looks beautiful, it looks like jewelry. It fits your lifestyle. It ticks all the boxes. But most importantly, it started out with a very simple idea, that wearables can be used for communication without a screen. So the idea is that it came in pairs, and I gave one to my loved one, and I touched it, and my loved one felt the touch. That simple. And it can start that simple. Most of these ideas need to be simple. The last service that I am here to present, we're actually launching it today with you guys here in Korea, is called LokLok. And the vision behind LokLok is one where it's really about connected creativity. So how can we be more creative when we're connected? We're already connected via Facebook, via Twitter. We're all connected. KakaoTalk does a wonderful job. How can we be more creative in this connectivity, right? So that was the question, and the answer came to be actually LokLok. So we imagined a service that takes your mobile phone and makes it feel like a portal into somebody else's mobile phone. So the best way to do that is with your lock screen. Why? Because you reach for your phone on average 150 times. So you are going to see a lock screen a lot. And usually what you see are little annoying pop-ups and notifications. Why don't we take that space and make it truly magical? So this is Lock, and the idea is you have two phones. I have one here with me. The other one is in the audience with a beautiful girl that I met yesterday. And I'm going to show you how it works. So I'm just going to turn it on, and that's a lock screen. And in this lock screen, I can just touch it. And come on, touch it, yeah. And I can scribble something. I can say, I can make a heart. That's an awful heart. Let me just delete it. Let's make a nicer heart. Heart, and then I can put S, D, F. And then I can actually take a picture. Let me take a picture of this, picture of you guys. We're going to do a selfie, which is quite popular these days. So here I am, little selfie, la la la, all right. And now I upload it, and now somewhere in the audience is a gorgeous lady that is just turned her phone on and went, oh, that's a wonderful man saying hello, a heart and SDF. That must be like some cryptic message. See you dinner Friday, potentially. And she's going to come back with something, right? And hopefully she'll do it in the next few seconds. So the next time I turn this on, I think we will see magic, and there's magic, right? So I'm surprised. Suddenly it's like, oh, there's this connectivity. And I didn't have to go into an app. I didn't have to open up something strange. It's right there. And suddenly with Lock, my phone makes me a much more creative human being, and it turns itself into a magical portal. So I want you to, my final thoughts are, as designers and engineers and people who delve in the digital realm in order to make good for this planet and become wiser, we cannot forget that which is most important in this, which are the underlying values by which through which we create. They are the life source of creativity. And we must treat our projects very much like babies, because they will grow and they will change this world. And it is our responsibility to give them all the love we can. Kamsamhida.